I have a question for you, actually. Unrelated. How do you deal with hate comments on social media? I feel like lately, since I've been going harder, my patience has been wearing more thin. Because when I'm off social media and I'm kind of like, I'm chilling, I'm not really working that much, I'll see it, I'm like, whatever. But when I'm going hard, not only am I getting more traction, I'm getting more haters, I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? How do you deal with the hate comments? Do you get any hate comments? What is your solution to that?
Oh, it's been like 8 fucking years being on social media. There's haters all the time. The positive is it's all engagement at the end of the day. I never want to, I don't want to say be petty per se. More often than not, I'm not going to, hit you back with the same kind of energy. There's a few times in which I do, but dealing with haters, it's like, all right, there must have been something that you didn't like. Let's find out specifically what your beef is. So if it's DMs, if it's a response to a comment, whatever the case is, like, all right, what's your fucking problem? Let's find out what's your issue is. Okay, if you don't like the jokes that I make, all right, cool. What did you like? Oh, you didn't like anything. All right, so why are you here then? So then by the end of that, I never want to meet with all that other stuff. But how I deal with it is I never get too high on the highs. I never get too low on the lows. So it never bothers me. So if somebody gives me a great compliment, it's like, oh, great. But I don't try to rest on that to where that now makes my essence. Like the other day, I just got a message that came in that there was a young lady, her brother I was his favorite YouTuber. He passed in December.
Oh.
And she was like, she still plays my videos in his room to kind of remember his, and when I read the message, I'm like, that made my whole goddamn week.
Damn, bro.
And funny enough, the same day, I get another message. How do I stop seeing your videos on my feed? I hate watching your voiceover video. Man, you're so corny or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, this kind of evens everything out. So when I saw that, that kind of message, I had responded to the other woman, oh, man, I'm so humbled to have been his favorite YouTuber. Keep his memory alive with how you navigate through your life, everything of that nature. With this person, oh, man, it's a shame that, I keep coming across your feed. I guess you must like it if you keep seeing my videos. You can easily block me. You'll never have to see me again. So I try not to get myself so caught up in hate, and then also don't get so caught up in love. Because if you get caught up in one of them, you'll get caught up in the other one. Because now it's almost like you're living for that.
Yeah.
Because imagine you'll get yourself to a point where if you chase after the dragon of getting those kinds of like positive comments, when they stop coming, you're gonna feel like you're shit.
Right.
Or if you're chasing after, although you don't want to search for the negative comments, but if you feed into it, so now it's like, yo, you want the smoke. When nobody comes around, you won't give a fuck about the positive comments because you only care about clapping back at the negative ones. So it's like trying to be even keel.
Well, I think for me, right, the one thing I hate when negative, because even for my content, a lot of it's pointed at like, hey, I was broke, I got rich, you could do it too. The reason I think the negative comments affect me the most is because when people say some negative shit like that and other people read it in the comments, they then feed into that also.
Right.
When someone says like, hey, it's not possible to get rich, this guy's a liar. It's not possible to get rich if you weren't already rich. This guy is lying. There's someone that's reading the comments that's like, damn. Like, because I'll read some comments sometimes, like, oh, it's feedback. But when they see that, they're like, oh, damn, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not rich. I can't get rich. It like counteracts my mission as why I even started doing content in the first place. I'm like to help people believe in themselves and like eventually break out and do something, right? Mm-hmm. So when I see that, it like gets under my skin because I'm like, yo, negative motherfuckers like you are the reason that people are in this issue in the first place. You have like this negative, like misery loves company, right? So they're naturally gonna pull people down.
That's the issue. That's because it's not even like they individually have a problem. It's like they're trying to rally people to have a problem with what it is that you put out. I think that right there also bothers me.
If they were making their own content saying, hey, if they were posting videos, hey, you shouldn't do this because it's impossible to get rich without being rich, and they were doing their own content, that's great. It doesn't bother me. Your message. But if you're now rallying in my comments to try and counteract my message, it's like, the fuck, get out of my comments, bro. It pisses me off. And like I've gone as far as like I'll usually just delete it and block them, but like man, like lately there's certain ones where I'm like, oh, today's the day I'm gonna make an example out of you. There's one guy that said, hey, you don't make 70 grand a month, fuck out of here. So I was like, you're right, I don't make 70 grand a month. I make 300 grand a month. And I just went and made an example of him. The video went viral on TikTok. And I was like, that's what I need, that energy. Mm-hmm. I need that energy. And it's so frustrating because a lot of these people that comment, people, it's bad when people don't believe their own eyes anymore.
Right.
A great example of that, there's this woman, she got scammed, unfortunately. but it was by someone impersonating me. So someone was pretending to be me, and she got scammed.
Brutal.
And I reached out and I said, hey, I'm sorry that happened. Can you send me more information on like what happened so we could look into it? I could potentially get their account taken down. Like, I don't know if I could remedy your situation, but we can prevent this from happening to other people. And he goes, shut up, you're a scammer. I'm like, bro, you didn't talk to me. Like, look at the accounts. And she's like, no, you scammed me. I'm going to spread the message about you. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was to the point where it's like she was so far gone that she was just blaming me when I was trying to like remedy it. It was crazy. So I don't know. I hate the internet for that, because
social media now, it's so many people
I'm
are
falling
getting
into
like
the toxic
right,
cycle.
because if you're perpetually online, it can become a problem. And then if you're running a business and other people will come in and then like act as if they're you, impersonate you, that's when it really sucks. Because there's a lot of people, like this happened to a close buddy of mine, where they make a bunch of different fake pages. It started with me 2022. It's since stopped. I know we'll probably pick up again, where I was doing giveaways damn near every single month.
So if they did that,
and they just fake page reaching out to people, hey, you just won a PlayStation 5. But I always had it in a situation where whenever I did my giveaways, I always said, hey, this is the person who's the winner. I do it live, so it's not something that's behind the scenes where it was, oh, well, we have somebody who won. You guys don't know. I make sure everything's public, and then when you do win it, here's me packaging it. Here's me bringing it to the post office. Here's the confirmation of the person who I sent it to, opening said box. It ain't me. Like, if I was to be over here faking stuff, that would be a lot of effort to go and fake it. And on top of that, I also have receipts that you can see something was paid. I'm not paying $95 to go ship something.
So let's say someone pretends to be you and they get someone. Like, what do you do about that? Like, what is your response?
Situations like that, publicly, I'd first say, hey, this isn't me, obviously, because there's almost no way for them to, well, I can't say no way, but because I do everything so publicly, if they're going in private and trying to, reach out to you, that's obviously not me. Because anything that I would do in a situation like that, it'd be public. Then, now I had to verify, like I'm verified on Twitter, and just now, legitimately, I think last week I verified on Instagram.
There we go. You paid for it, or you did it the real way?
I requested. It's very weird because I was never approved to go and pay for it, because every time they would deny. And every single month I would request the verification. So when it came in, I don't know. I'll have to wait to see if they send me something from Instagram for like a monthly stipend. But right now I'm verified finally. So I'm like, okay, now I have that blue check over there, so nobody can fake it for me now. So
I just got mine on TikTok,